Good evening. Hi, Aries. Hi, everybody. I'm doing my heart-shaped spread tonight. It's basically a 7-card spread. It's a heart-shaped. So there's two sides, you and your person. And in the inner tip and the bottom tip, we have two other cards that are joint energies between the two people. I don't want to spend too much time explaining the spread, but it is important to note that there are two sides and yet there are two cards that blend in for both of you, that unite you. So that's one thing. It's a reading I typically reserve for like the Lion's Gate. Well, so far I've done it twice, only in August. But I felt like doing this now for the New Year's in 2023. It's too many, I just want one. I will definitely pull, I think, so what is this first energy between the two of you? Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So that's a beautiful way to start. It's a beautiful way to bridge two people. So now with the tarot, I'm pulling 7 cards on each side. You are on the left-hand side because it's the side of your heart, inside your body. The setup is a little long, so please bear with me. I'm realizing that some people don't like to wait. Okay, I'm pulling. I will show you the cards eventually, of course. And the last card, this one is another tarot card, but the bottom tip is, again, it's unified energy. There's a card that flipped, the Two of Swords. Okay, so I mean, it looks like a heart to me, but you do have to use your imagination. And I would kind of show you, but basically the cards are placed to create a heart. So on your side, Aries, we have the 8 of Pentacles, Temperance, Justice in reverse, the 10 of Cups, the King of Swords, the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Moon in reverse. So we're going to look at you quickly first. Okay, you feel you've been done wrong. You do have both Justice and the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, both of them indicating that you feel you got not your fair share of either attention, love, truth, whatever it is, clarity. In a particular relationship, they were looking at the person on your mind, whoever that is. It's incredible because you're looking for stability with this person. You're looking at least for inner peace, harmonious relationships. you would really want to create something beautiful. I'm hearing something about being in tune with someone, like literally almost like the harmonics of a song, right? So not necessarily the same note, but having two notes that are so beautifully assorted, if you want. It's the same idea here. You're very decisive. I think it comes from this justice in reverse. You're wanting truth, you're wanting justice, you're wanting it's interesting. It's a mix of, well, of course you want an apology, but it's more than that. I think it's a conversation for one. I mean, there's a heart-to-heart conversation that is to be had. You know, you've always wanted to work on this, and you also always wanted the other person to work on this with you. You see a future with this person, or at least you can envision what it would be like in your mind's eye, in your heart. The harmony, the happiness, the beautiful home, the shared feelings, all of that is present for you. It inhabits you. But you're really wanting a conversation, you're wanting a reveal, you want something to be said. And you're looking for something very specific, I feel. You want details, you want the full disclosure, you want I'm looking at the temperance. It's like you want the full alchemy of it. So it's interesting because the harmony and being in tune that I was picking up before is like, it was vibrational because it's sound, but I'm also thinking that you want something on a chemistry level. So you're looking for, I mean, can I dare say this? Like on the pheromone level, like scent, you know, something about like the real animal kingdom kind of stuff. The alchemy, so the chemistry behind it. I just said behind, it's almost like you want to pierce that, like you really want to get through to it. Either to fully experience it, either to just maybe understand it. Not that it would be rationally understood, which is what you're trying to do basically, because you're the King of Swords. So there's a lot of rationalization. But I'm sensing that this is on a feeling level. You know, you want this to be spiritually guided with the temperance supported, right? You want it to be something that comes in alignment with you. You want it to be physically present in your reality. And you want something very deep emotionally. very, very deep. Like, I'm hearing, of course, the abyss, but I'm going to reserve that thought, because for me, sometimes when I think of an abyss, or not that I would know what an abyss is besides the definition, because I never been down an abyss. For some reason, I'm thinking of those very deep, you know, that right beside like some of the tectonic plates, right? You have particular abysses that reside, that go really, really down deep in the sea, in the ocean. I'm specifically looking at water and like those underwater abysses because of the moon card. It's like it's a water realm thing. Definitely psychic, but it's a lot to do with uncovering, discovering. You know, I've always watched documentaries where they show us all these creatures that they're still discovering. You know, like that live so far deep in the sea, right? So it's always like full of mysteries and newness, and so it's kind of special. This kind of energy, like, it's almost like you want to probe this relationship in a way that is not common. It's not the usual thing. Yet, there's something very insufferable for you. You can't withstand, and you cannot tolerate. You know, there's so much beauty in this relationship, and yet you can't understand the instability and the what you perceive to be things that are not reciprocal. And for that reason, there's a status quo between you and this person. Let's look at their side. They have the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands in reverse, the Two of Cups, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Fool. Those are huge energies. Very, very, very strong love for you. It's incredible that, you know, you would have obviously perceived them not to be in love with you, not showing it to you, not giving you the equivalent of what you've been putting out. But the reason I showed you specifically these three cards is that the love is there. But I want to show you just how much they would love to start something with you. You know, they're conscious they've been very guarded. They've been more than cautious, but they're letting it down for you. They're going to drop it for you. Drop the guard. Drop the baggage. Drop the doubts, the ambivalence. I mean, I'm hearing also dropping the narrow-mindedness. You know, this person is a lot more serious than you think. They've always been serious about you. They've been dead set on you for a long time. You know, this is extra committing or committed energy. The Emperor and the Hierophants. I mean, it's experience and it's wisdom, and yet it's also rigidity, and it's part of this defense mechanism. It's intertwined with their makeup. Yet they can be quite youthful, high-spirited, you know, candid and childlike. You know, they have a lot to offer, but what really they want to give to you is a piece of themselves. I can hear you say, I just don't want a piece. I want the whole thing. But you know, it's also the expression, I'll give you a piece of me, right? Which means something else. You know, it's pretty incredible because you think that the Fool is typically impatient, or at least really wanting to jump into things, right? But this person is very patient. I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking they understand doubt, self-doubt, whether it's theirs, whether it's yours, whether it's doubts arising within the relationship, the direction, the circumvolutions that this relationship might have gotten through. It's strange because I'm picking up some planning, but it's not logically planned. There's nothing logically and logical and calculated. It's just that something had to fall in place here. The Hierophant is not just this person's energy. It's a little bit like you have on your side, Aries, a Temperance. This is their guidance as well. You both have a strong support system in the 5D. There's something happening here about, I'm hearing trying to stay connected, right? I mean, of course, this is the symbol of as above, so below, but in this case, it's almost like wanting to connect, almost like, almost like like the image of an antenna, you know, your fingers become the antenna. So the heart-to-heart conversation, there's clearly how can I say, it's not a disconnect, because there's energies of, you know, being connected in love, right? On both sides. It's clear as day here. Yet, on one side, you could say this person has been closed off and has probably wanted to drop this before, right? Whereas your energy on your side, you're not trusting this in terms of reciprocity, and you don't feel it's stable and it's not clear to you. The other person is clearly wanting a start or a new start. But it's not just a start. It's really like there's an offering here. So you could think it's, you know, maybe just the peace offering of the conversation. But I think it goes further than that. I think it's giving you a piece of themselves in terms of, you know, either opening up, showing you who they are, how they feel more, if ever they have or haven't said anything, then they would. Any clarity, any explanation, whatever is required and needed. I think it's a good place to have a heart-to-heart conversation in the neutrality of the Two of Swords, because it's interesting. On the Rider-Waite, the Two of Swords has a blindfold, right? So it's a little bit like she won't pick sides. She cannot see who she has in front of her. So it's a little bit like very much of a justice vibe where it's objective. And then it's like the Two Swords are like saying, well, I'll give you the mic, you know, go ahead, you speak. And then the other sword is another prompt for the other person to speak, almost like in turn. I want to go back to the planning, because it's kind of off. It's not the right way to say it, but so let me try to refine this thought. It's a little bit like, not that this person would know what the future holds, right? Of course, no one really does, but maybe they did something really mature that involved I'm not too sure how to describe this. It's almost like planning and not planning. It's like, well, it's a little bit of an energy of, well, I'll kind of let it go because ultimately I can't control it, even if I want to. So the planning side of it is like the natural inclination of this emperor to want to control, or at least make it happen, and then take action towards that. And yet there's like the wisdom of the Hierophant, which probably has guided this person to maybe remove themselves prior, to let source or whatever higher power you believe in to work things through, or for just things to be, allowing the energies to, I don't know, just to place themselves, to be what they are, right? To flow, I guess is the best way to say this. Because it's divine timing, right? It's that notion of it's going to happen when it needs to, if it has to. So, on your side, Aries, you're willing to work on this. I think you still see a potential. The other person sees the same thing in terms of potential. But there's definitely required on your part. I mean, you are requiring from them a full-on openness, or I don't know if it's just being opened. I think it's more than that. Because this is the card with the abyss. It's like you want to see the darkest, and yet not that you would want to see the bad sides of this person, or the shadow side, or only what's ugly, or but there's definitely something about you that really wants to see 360. So you're okay with uncovering the things that you might not like, but you don't want any more surprises, or you just don't want to have any more question marks, or you really want full exposure from this person. So the advice is really to have the heart-to-heart conversation. Even the other joint energy is saying, well, right now it's a stalemate, or it's a face-off, right? Two people looking at each other, really, maybe not really engaging in the conversation, but there's room for the conversation. It should be done, or could be done, I should say, in the most I'm looking for the right word. It requires truth, but more than ever, there cannot be any more gray zones, or question marks, or if trust is to be reestablished, or established, whatever your situation is. So I was mentioning truth, but it's really trust that I'm sensing. This is what the heart-to-heart conversation is there to mend. It's a make or break, right? It's either you two trust each other, whether it's to establish that trust or re-establish that trust. But that's what the conversation is about. The conversation will tell if there's trust that can be had between you and this person. And from there, you can work things, or you can develop something, or truly have the exchange of feelings that you've been really wanting and that you feel that you possess for one another that hasn't been expressed. I don't think ever really. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope something resonated in this message, or these at least bits of the message for you. I wish you a happy new year, because we are January 2nd. So in case I haven't told you yet, have a great one, and all the best. Thank you for being here. Please like the video, share, subscribe. I'll see you soon. Good night.